Welcome here to another great broadcast from CMG Broadcasting. This is Coach Hart here, bringing you some of the Week 8 lines from the Gamer Huddle DFA Wager League. And I'm going to tell you guys, we got some good ones. I think you can win some money tonight if you lost some money on some of the earlier games, like the Eagles absolutely going nuts and beating the Bills. I think you can make some of your money back on this one. Now, if you bet the Bills and you bet the over, hey, you're doing good right now. Take some of these bets, put them down, and see what you can make with the rest of your night. But with that being said, let's go to those bets and see what we like for tonight. Now, taking a look at the first game that we've got, the first game is going to be Cards versus Saints. Now, not going to lie, I don't like a lot of the action on this one. I feel like this one is definitely one the casino is going to win a bit more on than anybody else. But if you've got to make a bet, take the over. I mean, 31 is an insanely low number for an over-under. And I think it's one that we can take advantage of here. So if you're going to bet this game, take the over, that over 31. If you really need to bet a team, I'm not going to lie, I like the Saints. Take that -2.5 for the Saints and see what you can do with it. Now, taking a look at the next game is one that we do get a little more action on, as we got the Colts going up against the Broncos. Colts 2-4, Broncos 4-3. And this game being a pick'em basically means just pick who you think is going to win and then go with the over-under. Now, if you're going to make a bet in this one, I'm going to take the Colts. I love the Colts in this game, actually, for a variety of reasons. Even though the Broncos may seem statistically better, the Colts overall are a better team. And I think that's going to start to show itself as we get to the midpoint in this season. So take the Colts with the pick'em. And I'm not going to lie, take the under. The under here being at 35, I think going to hit. Both of these teams averaging 14 for the Colts, 19 for the Broncos. If you add those up, that's 33. That's going to be less than what our over-under is already. And not to mention, like I said, I think the Colts are going to pull this out. So this one probably going to be about a 17-10, 17-13 kind of game. Now, as we keep going, we'll take a look and we scroll down. We've got next one up is Panthers versus 49ers. And this one of the games that if you're in the chat is getting a lot of chatter, but mostly from the Panthers side than anybody else. Now, I'm not going to lie. I do not trust the 49ers to cover this one. So I'm not going to take the -3 from the 49ers. And I don't trust the Panthers to cover either. So if I'm going to bet this one, I would bet the 49ers money line, that -150, and take the under. Both of these teams not very good on offense. The 49ers getting 43% of their red zone drives as touchdowns, 30% for the Panthers. So these teams not able to convert when they get into the red zone. That is a telltale sign to take the under in this one. So like I said, take the 49ers and the under 33.5 for this one, because when you put these two teams' points per game together, 14 and 16, we get 30. Why would we expect them to score more than average when we've got a great defense like the 49ers coming into town? I don't know. So I would stay with going with the 49er money line and going under on that total. Now, the next game that we've got on the screen is I think the biggest one of the week. If there's a game of the week and a game that you're going to broadcast to the masses, the Bengals versus Rams would be it. We got the Rams coming in at 5-1, the Bengals sitting there at 5-2. And with those records, a +7 seems absolutely astonishing for the Bengals. But when you take a look at those stats, the Rams right now are averaging 26 points a game, and they're only giving up 12. The Bengals averaging 21 and giving up 14. So we have two of the most high-powered offenses and two of the most high-powered defenses in this league coming to battle against each other. Now, usually in that scenario, when you have two of the best defenses, you would say go with the under. However, don't forget, there's offenses that play this game as well, and we've got two of the top offenses as well. I'm going to go with the Bengals to cover +7. And I think the over is going to hit in this one. Not to mention, have we had a couple of overs already hit this week? I believe 5 overs have already hit. But this one, with prolific offenses that we're seeing in 10-minute quarters on all Madden, whether you've got the accelerated clock or not, I think is going to parlay this one into an easy over for both of these teams, and the Bengals expecting to cover. Now, if you really are not feeling very frisky with this one, take the over and don't even touch that Bengals-Rams line. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the line, that plus and -7, because I think this one very well could be a 7-point game, and if not, I think this one could be a blowout by the Rams or a very close win by the Bengals. So there's really nothing that you're leaning towards either way. So with that, stick with the money line, or not stick with the money line, stick with the Bengals +7, the bigger spread, generally the easy one to cover, and then stick with the over. Now, we're going to take a look at some of the last games that we've got tonight, and that is going to be the Packers versus Chiefs. Now, looking at that one, a lot of people liking the Packers on that underdog bet today, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. I like the Packers as the money line bet, so take that even money that you can get. Don't take the +1. There's no point in getting a +1 because remember, a +1 is only going to help us if it's a tie game. And how many tie games do we end up having? If the Packers end up losing by 1 and it's +1, you still end up losing. So take the money line here. Take the even line on the Packers. I think that's a good play. And then take the over. And I know the over here being 30 feels like an easy play, but don't forget, these two teams together averaging 17 and 12, so only adding up to 29. However, I think that somebody is going to get up to 21 points in this game, and with that, the over is probably going to hit. It's very hard for it not to hit if we get to 21 with somebody. And like I said, betting the Packers in this one, I think the Packers are just the safer play. Even though they're not, quote-unquote, as good record-wise, I think they're the one that you're going to want to go with. And then taking a look at the last game of the day, we've got Texans versus Raiders. And honestly, guys, this is a game I'm staying away from. I am not a big fan of this game. I know it kicks off in about 20 minutes, but I'm not going to lie. If you have to bet on this game, take the over. Take the over 35. I think that's going to be a good bet as these teams averaging 18 and 17 respectively. That adds up to 35 already, so you expect with a quick turnover or a short field, somebody getting a couple more points than they're usually expecting to. With that plus or minus, if you have to bet somebody and you cannot control yourself to not put money on somebody, I would put the money down on the Raiders +4.5. Even though their defense is not very good, all it takes is one turnover and one short field to make these games close. And 4.5 is a good cover because you've got that, field goal differential that usually plays into it. I think that is not going to be coming into effect in this one. So with that being said, you can see all of the bets that we're looking at and some of these that we are placing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to tell you the ones that Coach Hart is placing tonight because I want to win my money. When I win my money, I'll start getting you guys some of my bets as well for free, but until then, it's going to cost you a little bit to have to figure out what Coach Hart is going to be betting. Obviously, we're telling you a couple of them, but when it comes down to it, those are the bets that we're going to make. So you've heard what we've got as an opinion for all these games. Looking forward to these games kicking off with the next one at 9:30 Eastern. And don't forget, stay tuned to the Twitch and the Twitter. Twitter at the Coach Hart, HART for the Twitch, twitch.tv/CMG_broadcast. And we will all being said, we've got your picks out for tonight. So remember, to win in this game, you got to have heart. And that's what we bring for you every single time we are on the call. And until next time, God bless and good night.